All right, let's get into it. So, achieving success, a phenomenological study of the characteristics of successful African American female entrepreneurs. Okay. Oop, let me just, what happened here? Okay, welcome. Okay, again, we're taking it back to 2012 research I conducted way back when. This is what we're going to be going over today. And these were the people that were part of my committee chair when I conducted the research. Okay, so how did this all start? Well, initially, I started looking at business owners, ethnicity, and customer service. I wanted to see if there was a relationship. So I started a literature review. And in that literature review, one topic led me to another topic. So once I started studying business owners, ethnicity, and customer service, then I moved on to study African American business owners in particular. And then I ended with African American female business owners and success. I'm going to be looking at my notes. I have a lot of notes here actually that talks about the process that I went through. And I want to make sure I cover everything. So if you see me looking down, then you know why. So there was research that was conducted back in 2008 by Beth Ann Reeves, and she indicated that a body of knowledge would expand by duplicating her research study with a minority sample. Beth Ann Reeves studied women business owners and their success factors. And when she did that in 2008, she discovered that African American female business owners, they had specific needs and issues that were not being addressed. So she suggested that conducting a similar research study, specifically with African American female business owners, could further add to the body of research exploring the unique differences among segments of women business owners and the unique challenges faced by each. So what exactly is the problem? Okay, the general problem is the disparity between gender and African American entrepreneurial success compared to white business owners. The specific problem is that although African American women-owned businesses are showing growth in various areas of development, including business quantity, firm development, or firm employment and profit, African American women receive marginalized profits and decreased business success compared to other non-minority and minority business owners. So what is the support for this problem statement? Well, African American women-owned businesses in general are more likely to go out of business than white-owned businesses. From 2008, African American female businesses grew by 19%, more than African American male-owned businesses, and yet their profits were significantly marginalized. We're talking about $25.8 billion versus $79.4 billion. Now, what's interesting is that although African American women-owned businesses are increasing in startups, studies show a low number of African American female-owned firms. So increased African American female entrepreneurialism and low numbers of African American female-owned businesses may actually indicate a decreased survival for such firms after they start. So this is most certainly a red flag, which led me further into my study and further to want to explore, well, what's the issues and what are the success factors? Now, small businesses are critical to the American economy. Small business owners create most jobs and employ about half of America's private sector. Okay? African American women business owners account for 34% of all minority women-owned businesses within the United States. I want to further go into the significance of this problem by stating that the increase of women business owners has had a positive effect on the American economy. In 2007, women owned 28.7% of all non-farm businesses within the United States. From 2002 to 2007, women-owned businesses increased by 20.1%. Women-owned businesses in 2007 alone generated $1.2 trillion in receipts. So small businesses support product innovation and they support global job development in underserved areas as well. They also enhance Americans' ability to compete as a global financial leader. Therefore, small businesses are valuable assets to the American economy. Okay. Small businesses account for 99.9% of the 29.6 million firms conducting business in the United States. There's an economic importance that entrepreneurialism provides within the United States. There's three things that it provides: a mainstay of economic growth and job creation, a proven ground for product and service innovations, and a means of identifying and exploited previously undeveloped markets. The underrepresentation of African American businesses within American society limits economic growth and job creation opportunities within African American communities. So, what was the purpose of this study? The purpose of this qualitative phenomenological study was to explore what African American female business owners who have been in business for at least 5 years consider important in starting up and prolonging businesses according to their experiences. Again, the significance of this study. Now, this study may be of interest to African American female entrepreneurs, feminine equal rights activists, other researchers. The research itself may be useful because it may reveal why African American female-owned businesses in general are less likely to succeed than white-owned businesses. And this research can certainly add to the body of knowledge. So what were the two main research questions that frameworked this study? So two questions. Number one, what are the lived experiences of African American female entrepreneurs in the establishment and continuation of a business during the first 5 years? And then number two, what factors or themes of factors have contributed to their success in establishing and maintaining a business beyond the 5-year period? There were four frameworks that I used within this study, and they are planned behavior, which develops a framework of the external, internal factors of entrepreneurial behavior; social role theory, which develops a framework for gender studies; theories of high achievement and achievement motivation, which develops a hypothesis for entrepreneurial motivation; and culture theory, which develops the framework for ethnic entrepreneurialism. So what were some of my limitations and delimitations? Well, first of all, locating 20 participants that met the study's specific criteria was certainly a limitation. It was hard. Some of the participants that I initially signed up to interview, some of them declined their interview. Not everyone showed up, as to be expected when you do a research study. Also, the National Association of Women Business Owners, which is where I decided to pull my participants from, those organizational chapters had very, very limited African American female business owners as members within their organization. And another limitation was the lack of participation from managers at the NAWBO organization. A delimitation was that I focused only on African American female business owners, and I focused on those who were in business for 5 years or more, and I focused on those who were members of the National Association of Women Business Owners. Again, the population that I sampled were African American female business owners who had been in business for 5 years or more, and who were also members of the National Association of Female Business Owners. So what was the methodology I used? I decided to use a qualitative methodology. Okay. And qualitative methodology seeks to understand, provide descriptions, and generate a hypothesis. It also seeks to find meaning. It's also more exploratory. Qualitative methods are appropriate when you have a smaller sample size, which I had, and when you're conducting field research. A qualitative method is good for identifying themes and patterns within the data. I also used a phenomenological case study to interpret the participants' descriptions of their experiences. I was the primary instrument for collecting the data. This research was participant focused, again, studying their experiences, seeking to understand human behavior. There was no single reality that exists. There's no single reality that exists within phenomenological case studies. And yet we aim to identify themes and patterns within the data, which is what we did with this research. Okay. So let's talk about the instrumentation and data collection. So this is how the research was conducted. This is how the information was gathered. Again, I was the primary tool for data collection. Phone interviews responses were tape recorded. I transcribed the phone interviews. I transcribed the notes and cross-checked with the tape recordings. And then I coded and analyzed the data using software, using qualitative data analysis software programs. Continuing with the data collection. Now, participants were assigned a numerical code to assist with identification and to ensure that participant confidentiality and to organize participants' responses. Written interview responses were identified with corresponding tape recorded responses. All transcribed interview responses were checked for accuracy to ensure correct correspondence with the member interviewed, and transcribed notes were cross-checked with tape recordings. Okay, the data analysis that I used is called the Mustaka's modified Van Cam method, and also I use Microsoft Word and WEF's qualitative data analysis software to analyze the data. Okay. Again, participants' responses were color-coded based on keywords, and these keywords were then clustered according to each participant's experience. Once that was done, textual descriptions were developed from keywords, the data was clustered, and we looked at the participants' responses verbatim. Now, once that happened, we discovered that some emerging themes. So emerging themes were formulated from textual descriptions, and such themes were color-coded for further analysis. Again, this was a process. This was a process to do this research, very detailed and most certainly very scientific. Emerging themes from each research question were analyzed for the revelation of major themes. And major themes were those themes that were relevant to the study. Frequently reoccurring themes were cited as key themes within the data. Again, we're talking about how did I come to the conclusion of the 5 keys? How did I discover the 5 keys? Again, this was the process that I went through with this research. More on the research. Again, 5 participants were studied. These are the demographics. Participants owned a variety of businesses. The experience ranged from 5 to 15 years of business operation. The average length of business operation was 9.7 years. 1 out of 5 participants were married. 4 out of 5 participants were divorced. The research findings and the demographics continued. Now, again, only African-American female business owners were interviewed. The sample size represents business operations in 3 states. Now, 3 states. So 1 participant operates in Wisconsin, 2 participants operated in Georgia, and 2 participants operated in Tennessee. All right. Okay, so the research findings, again, an overview of the in-depth questions. So we talked about the 2 questions that framed this research, yet there were several questions within the research that got deeper into the study. Okay. So questions 1 through 3, we're talking about getting information on the participants and their personal background. Okay. We also, questions 4 through 6 focus on business reflections. Participants' recommendations were the focus of questions 7 through 13. And then questions 14 through 19 were demographic questions. Now, additional in-depth questions similar to those found within the Reeves studies, Beth Ann Reeves, who, again, like I said earlier, she conducted a study for all women business owners and their success factors. These particular questions that she used within her research were modified for this research for this particular sample size of African American women business owners. Okay. I want to go over just a little bit, just in depth, just a little bit about these questions again. Now, personal questions were asked to obtain an understanding of the participants' family background, education, and business experiences. And also, business reflection questions were asked to gather participants' perceptions of their leadership styles and the challenges of being a business owner and factors that they thought contributed to their success. Okay. These questions were asked to glean what the participants considered important in creating and maintaining a successful business. The questions also probe participants to give advice to other entrepreneurs. So, what were the core themes? And now we're getting into the keys. Okay, so here were the themes that were discovered in the research. Using outside employment as a platform to develop entrepreneur field and product knowledge. Okay. Persistence regardless of the obstacles. A continuous process of business research. Financial investment. Different measures of success. And networks of support. Okay, so I'm going to go through each of these and I'm going to show you how they became the 5 keys to business success that we know of today. So the importance of using outside employment as a platform to develop entrepreneur and field and product knowledge was a principal theme identified within various interview selections. Question 3 asked participants to describe the process of how they started their business. An analysis of the data revealed that participants used their outside work experiences to develop entrepreneur field and product knowledge. Now, this particular finding is related to the key that talks about developing your business. And when you develop your business, one of the things that African American female entrepreneurs tend to do is actually use their employment as a way to educate themselves about being an entrepreneur. They use their employment as a way to springboard to close the gap between being an entrepreneur and being a 9-to-5 employee. They use the information that they glean from their employment and they take that information with them when they become entrepreneurs. Again, the theme of outside employment, using outside employment as a platform to develop your business, became the framework that I use to develop the key that talks about the importance of developing your business. Okay. Persistence regardless of the obstacles. Okay. Remaining persistence regardless of the obstacles was another core theme discovered within the data. All participants spoke passionately concerning the importance of African American women business owners being strong, confident, and determined and persistent regardless of the obstacles they may experience, both as women and as African American female business owners. Participants encouraged future African American female entrepreneurs to be assertive and almost unapologetic in their quest to pursue their objectives of entrepreneurial freedom. The core theme of remaining persistent regardless of the obstacles arose in 4 research questions. That particular theme became part of the mindset key that we talk about in the 5 keys. A continuous process of business research. Again, we're talking about developing your business. Okay. Establishing a continuous process of conducting business research developed as a core theme within this research. Respondents repeatedly stressed the need for all business owners, specifically African American women business owners, to research various components of business-related subjects consistently. Okay. Financial investment. Well, that became the key where I talk about money and how it's important to have financial wizardry. It's important to know your numbers. Entrepreneurs frequently need to fund their business with their personal money, and this money may come from their employment within the traditional workforce, credit cards, or personal saving accounts. All participants within this research stressed the need for African American female entrepreneurs to be prepared to fund their own businesses when possible. And this is partly due to difficulty obtaining capital for African American female business owners. There are also other variables too. Most African American female business owners, they're often single. Okay, they're often non-married, which affects their household income as well. So again, there's a strong importance in making sure you are funded and also knowing your numbers. Okay, different measures of success. Well, that corresponds to the key where I talk about defining your success. And what was found is that according to research by Reeves, female entrepreneurs overall have a different perception of success compared to their male counterparts. Factors such as receiving positive client and peer feedback, client satisfaction, overcoming possible gender and race discrimination, and achieving self-sufficiency through entrepreneurialism were identified as strong measures of success among participants in the study. Okay. And then also, last but not least, networks of support. And this is a direct key where I talk about defining your network and establishing your network, because your network is your net worth. The final core theme identified within this study was the importance of establishing networks of support for African female entrepreneurs. 80% of the participants researched in the study indicated that they were divorced and single. Researchers suggest that the lack of family support may act as a hindrance to female entrepreneurs, causing some to fail in attempting to become business owners. Women business owners in general thrive with supportive family units backing their decision to become entrepreneurs. Without direct family support, especially from a spouse, a female entrepreneur may not have enough financial or emotional support to become successful. Again, this is why it's so important for African American female entrepreneurs to make sure that they establish their network, okay? A network of support, which we talk about in the 5 keys. A single parent female entrepreneur may also have to cope with the challenge of managing family, life, and her business simultaneously. This is a difficult task. The majority of the participants interviewed stressed that it was just them, so they had no choice but to make their business work. 60% had the dual task of being a single mother and pursuing entrepreneurialism. Okay, so you can see the 5 keys. You can see the framework for the 5 keys within these particular core themes that were identified in the study. Again, they are outside employment as a platform to develop entrepreneurial field and product knowledge. Okay, persistence regardless of the obstacle. And again, outside employment, that's connecting to developing your business. Okay. Persistence regardless of the obstacles, that's directly related to the mindset key. A continuous process of business research, that's directed to developing your business. Again, the developing your business key. Financial investment, that's directly connected to the key where I talk about money and how important it is to have financial wizardry and knowing your numbers. Okay. Different measures of success is directly related to the key that talks about defining what success means for you. And then finally, the 5th key, the network of support. Literally establishing a network of support is very important for African American female entrepreneurs. So what were some of the new themes discovered in this research? Again, studying African American female entrepreneurs is a very much so understudied area. So there were new themes discovered, and those themes were that African American female entrepreneurs use outside employment as a platform to develop their entrepreneurial and field and product knowledge, and also making business research a continuous process. Okay. The findings of these studies are not intended to be generalized. Okay, I realize that. And the recommendations are not intended to be exclusive to African American female entrepreneurs. And yet, there's still a lot of research that needs to be done to get a deeper understanding of success as it relates to African American female business owners. There's still a lot of research that needs to be done as it relates to the experiences of African American female entrepreneurs. Now, the 6 themes identified, I want to just stress this again. Using outside employment as a platform to develop entrepreneur field and product knowledge, persistence regardless of the obstacles, mindset, a continuous process of business research, development, financial investment, numbers, different measures of success, defining success, networks of support, literally establishing your network. Most of the themes discovered within this study are congruent with the literature concerning business owners, African American business owners, women business owners, and African American female business owners. However, due to the lack of research concerning African American female entrepreneurs, again, 2 of the themes proposed are new to the body of knowledge concerning African American female entrepreneurs. Now, these 2 themes that are new themes that were discovered within this research are supported within literature, okay, which suggests that African American female entrepreneurs display positive attitudes towards training and research compared to white female entrepreneurs. Both of the themes suggest that African American female business owners actively seek opportunities to increase their business knowledge in an effort to advance themselves within their entrepreneurial ventures. This is why it's so important for me to create courses and programs that support African American female entrepreneurs. The lack of business education and professional guidance due to lower socioeconomic backgrounds was noted within the research. This is a hindrance to African American entrepreneurs. It was a hindrance in the 19th century, and it's a hindrance now. It is evident within the study that African American women worked consistently to increase their business knowledge. Okay, so what were the recommendations from African American female business owners? And then what are some recommendations for further studies? Well, here's directly from the participants of the study. 3 things. Perfect your business. Question number 13 asked participants what advice they would give to African American entrepreneurs desiring to start their business. Okay, again, we're talking about, this goes back to the key of developing your business. The participants' responses suggested that African American female business owners should consistently develop their knowledge and business understanding as a means to perfect their business. Perfecting one's business is a continual process. It keeps business owners prepared and ahead. Developing your team, again, this goes back to the concept of creating a network. The importance of developing a team was repeated throughout the study. Participants recognized that teams provide support to African American female business owners, which may aid her business growth. These teams may also assist in providing emotional stability. And then being self-assured, which goes back to the mindset principle. Self-assurance is one of the keys to business success, according to the respondents throughout the study. Participants encourage future entrepreneurs to be strong, persistent, and determined with their business endeavors, standing on what they believed in and not willing to take no for an answer. This was stressed within the participants. Gender and race discrimination encouraged participants to stress confidence as a necessity for future African American female business owners. And again, we're just really drilling home that mindset key. So what's the research significance to leadership? Programs, money, services, and mentorship necessary for minority business growth, specifically African American business growth. This is why this research is so significant, because it may give credence to such programs. It may give credence to the need for additional programs and monies and services and mentorship. Okay. This research is also, it may be also useful to policymakers, okay, who can alleviate some of these disparities by providing legislation beneficial to African American female entrepreneurs. It may also be beneficial to minority and non-minority leaders. They may benefit from hearing these experiences of African American women and hearing how they became successful regardless of the obstacles that they encountered. And understanding this may add to the body of knowledge and add to diversity within organizations. So what are my recommendations for future studies? Conducting a similar study that specifically explores African American female entrepreneurs and their experiences within formal organizations designed to assist women entrepreneurs may lead to an increased understanding of whether these systems hinders or aid African American female entrepreneurs and add to the body of knowledge. Research comparing the success of married African American female entrepreneurs with supportive families to African non-married American female entrepreneurs with non-supportive families may give the body of knowledge an increased understanding of the effects of family support on African American female and success and her leadership style. Okay. Future research is necessary to increase understanding of African American female entrepreneurs' success throughout the country and on a global scale. And several variations to this study in different demographics could add more depth, all right, to the understudied area of African American female entrepreneurialism. Additional research that explores and compares African American male and female business owners' success measures may give the body of knowledge more insight as to what business success looks like from an African American vantage point, and thereby provide universal insight as to what other mechanisms make up business success, growth, and sustainability. I also want to say before I close, okay, throughout this study that several entrepreneurs noted that they felt a lack of support throughout their entrepreneurial journey. One participant in particular felt a lack of support from organizations designed to assist women business owners. Again, that is why we are here. That's why I created the 5 Keys to Business Success. And that's why I created a program that speaks directly to African American female business owners, because they oftentimes felt ignored with programs that were designed to help them. Okay. It is documented within literature that support from organizations designed to help business owners are beneficial to the overall growth of these business owners that take advantage of these programs. It is also known that African American women are least likely to join formal organizations. Again, that's why we have this opportunity here to teach African American women business owners how to be successful. Okay. I also want to say, again, 80% of the respondents within this study were single and divorced. They had a lack of family support while they're pursuing their entrepreneurial endeavors. This is why it's so important that we have a community here that African American women business owners can reach out to, and they can gain support, and they can gain knowledge, and they can grow in their business success. So I hope that explains where the 5 keys came from, gives you a general overview of the study. If you are interested in getting into the details of the study, please be advised that I do have it available online. You can look it up, and please feel free to reach out to me if you have any further questions. Dr. B, and I'm signing out, and here's to your success. Chat soon.